When I bought my house on the edge of town, I thought I was leaving the endless chaos of city life behind. My property came with a long gravel driveway, fenced-in pasture land, and a solid steel gate that sat proudly at the entrance. I installed that gate myself, welding the frame with my own 2 hands and wiring up an automatic opener that swung wide with a code or remote. It wasn't just security, it was a symbol of peace, a way to keep the outside world from creeping in uninvited. Unfortunately, the outside world came in the form of our neighborhood's self-appointed tyrant, the HOA president, Karen. Now, when I say Karen, I don't mean just a mildly nosy neighbor. This woman lived and breathed control. She patrolled the streets at dawn, clipboard in hand, inspecting trash cans, measuring lawns with rulers, and leaving little pink courtesy notices on people's doors that read more like threats. She believed that because she was HOA president, she had dominion over every square inch of the neighborhood, even those of us who technically weren't even under HOA jurisdiction. That last part is important. My property was grandfathered in long before the HOA was formed, which meant their rules had absolutely no legal weight over me. Of course, that didn't stop Karen from trying to exert power anyway. The gate was the first thing that got under her skin. From the day I installed it, she made her disapproval known. She claimed it was unsightly, that it set the wrong tone for the neighborhood, and that it blocked the flow of community traffic. I pointed out that it was on my land, serving no one but me, and that my property line ended 50 feet before the HOA's jurisdiction even began. That didn't matter to Karen. In her mind, anything she could see, she controlled. It started small. Every few days, I'd notice the gate had been nudged, just slightly, enough that the hinges groaned when it swung. At first, I thought it was kids fooling around or maybe a delivery truck brushing too close. But one morning, I checked my driveway camera and saw it plain as day. Karen, in her enormous SUV, deliberately bumping into the gate as she pulled out of the neighborhood onto the main road. She didn't slam it like a crash test dummy, no. She eased forward, letting the heavy bumper push against the steel until the gate rattled and shifted just enough to annoy me. She did it with the smug confidence of someone who thought she was untouchable. The first time I caught her, I walked down to the end of the drive and waited. Sure enough, at 7:15 sharp, her SUV came rolling down the street, coffee cup in hand, oversized sunglasses hiding whatever smug expression she wore underneath. When she nudged the gate, I stepped out and waved her down. "Morning, Karen," I said evenly. "Why are you pushing my gate with your car?" She rolled down her window, feigning innocence. "Oh, that thing? It's always sticking out too far into the street. I'm just straightening it." I raised an eyebrow. "It's not in the street. It's 6 feet inside my property line." She sipped her coffee. "Well, it looks like it's in the way. And besides, this road is for everyone. You can't just block it with your little fortress." I clenched my jaw. "It's my driveway, my gate, and my property." "Stop hitting it." She gave me that smile. The kind that isn't really a smile at all, but a challenge. "We'll see." Then she rolled her window up and drove off, leaving the scent of burnt coffee and cheap perfume in her wake. From then on, it became her morning ritual. Every single day, like clockwork, she would slow down at my gate, press her bumper against it, and give it a push before pulling out onto the road. Sometimes it was subtle, sometimes more forceful, but always intentional. I tried everything to stop her. I called the HOA board, useless, of course, since she was the board. I contacted the police, but they shrugged, saying unless she caused real damage, there wasn't much they could do. I even stood outside with my phone filming her. But she only waved like she was some kind of celebrity being photographed by fans. That's when I decided if Karen wanted a game, I'd play to win. I spent a weekend in my workshop studying the mechanics of the gate. I reinforced the hinges, replaced the old bolts with industrial-grade steel, and welded a hidden support bar into the frame. But the real trick was the modification. I rigged up a clever little catch. Nothing dangerous, nothing illegal, just enough to ensure that the next time Karen thought she could bully my gate, she'd find herself in for a very unpleasant surprise. And the very next Monday morning, when Karen came barreling down the road, sipping her coffee and smirking like always, she rolled up to my gate with the confidence of someone who believed nothing could touch her. She nudged forward, pressed her bumper into the steel, and then, clunk. Her SUV stopped dead. Her eyes went wide, and even through the tinted windshield, I could see the flash of panic. She shifted into reverse, but the gate wouldn't let go. She revved the engine harder, the tires squealing on gravel, but all it did was grind the trap tighter. I stood on my porch, coffee mug in hand, and watched the show begin.